last 45 days, obviously, we have all witnessed some pretty epic, and you could even say biblical proportion type of problems in Western North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina. Of course, acts of God, natural disasters. So for the schools, what are some of your observations, and how? And again, I hate to ask a clinical question, sir, but how does that impact your budgeting, and does it impact the strategic thinking for you going forward for maybe further natural disasters that may come in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, it's true, Chris. We're used to dealing with hurricanes down east, not so much in the mountains, and I'm from the mountains. So I feel this one particularly close to my heart. It's been heartbreaking to see the loss of life and some places that hold such a strong place in my heart. So I've taken that rather emotionally, but our institutions have fared relatively well given the severity of the flooding. Western Carolina was actually largely spared in Cullowhee because the storm and the flooding was largely to the east of there. UNC Asheville was closed for nearly a month, largely as a result of the city's water supply issues. We now have, thanks to the Army Corps of Engineers, a mobile water treatment facility on campus, so that we were able to get UNC Asheville back up and running. The most damage actually occurred at Appalachian State in Boone, and yet they're mountain strong in high country, and they have managed their way through it at each of these institutions, and we are looking forward to playing our role in the recovery of Western North Carolina.
I'm sure, given knowing you, but also the system, that there's a sensitivity to not having school in session for a month. Do parents ask for some type of acknowledgement or recourse when it comes to tuition? And how do you budgetarily meet the needs of parents or those who pay those tuition costs, still with a nod to that, but also to the nod that you have a budget that you have to be sensitive to?
Well, so true, Chris. Again, we've been very fortunate. The legislature has appropriated some funds that we are putting forward towards those institutions, clearly in terms of repairing their facilities, and FEMA will support with cleaning up the debris and reimburse us for some of that. There's insurance for part of that, but the legislature has provided money for students who are from Western North Carolina or attending Western North Carolina universities to lighten their load, given the stress on them financially and emotionally. Additionally, the system, through the State Education Assistance Authority, was able to free up about $8 million that we could spend on behalf of students at Western Carolina, UNC Asheville, and App State, whose families qualify for the Next NC scholarship, that is with family incomes below $80,000, some direct financial aid to those students. We're looking at how we can reduce or even waive tuition at UNC Asheville in the spring semester, because again, the damage done to the city of Asheville and ongoing issues with the water supply, we're concerned about losing students there. We want to retain them and keep them on track to graduate.